Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, the National Guard on patrol in our nation's capital.
Now there's an effort in Lansing to try to prevent this from happening in Michigan. Let's get live to Fox News' Dave Kinchin. He's in downtown Detroit with reaction. Dave.
Yeah, a lot of people really talking about this one. DOA, that's the word from Republican House Speaker Matt Hall. If this bill is in fact introduced to the floor of the House, we'll go to some video right now, fill you in on the details. You've probably been following this a little bit, but we'll give you a little bit more info on all of it here. Representative Lori Pohutsky of Livonia tossed House Bill 4796 into the hopper. It would ban the deployment of an armed military force without the permission of Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Now, this follows the National Guard and hundreds of federal agents being sent into Washington, D.C. President Trump says that's a move designed to fight violent crime. State House Dems say it's an abuse of executive power. Now, Republicans in the State House, they say this legislation is ridiculous. They say it is not constitutionally coherent, and both sides say really there's politics involved, but they're also holding firm. Listen in.
So this isn't by any means a partisan issue, and I frankly just think it's a little ironic that a number of my Republican colleagues have espoused a whole lot about authoritarianism, particularly while we were dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, but they don't seem to recognize it when it's literally popping its head up across the country.
We've got to stop this foolishness and this nonsense. I believe that she and other Democrats are doing this just to, get some press or get something, but because it makes no sense. We need to continue to stand for protection of our citizens. Leader Hall mentioned today that if this bill comes forward, it'll be dead on arrival.
Now you have the school budget issue, you've got really state budgets, school lunches, all of these things that lawmakers have been trying to sort out. In fact, I spoke with one lawmaker today in the House who said they didn't even know this bill was introduced because they've got so many other things they're trying to sort out, especially relating to education before the school year starts up. So this was certainly something that even caught some lawmakers in both parties by surprise. Reporting live downtown, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, we talk a lot about guardrails and the guardrails that are in place at a federal level. This is something that they want at a state level, but even the president right now in Washington, he does have jurisdiction over the police there, but only for 30 days. And right now we're talking, just over 3 weeks left, and then Congress has to decide whether or not that continues.
Yeah, that's right. So those are those federal checks you talked about as well. And I think one thing state lawmakers want to see is a little bit more in the name of checks added to the state side of this, too.
Dave Kinchin for us live tonight. Thank you. A disgusting crime outside the Target in Auburn Hills. A man left a note on a teenage girl's car, and it could send him to prison. Fox 2's Camille Amiri explains.
We're talking about 38-year-old Thomas Hensler. Take a look at his mugshot. Now, he has pled no contest to this incident that happened back in March. A 17-year-old female told police that she was at the Auburn Hills Target when she found an explicit note on her car offering to pay her for sexual favors. 911 was called. Police arrived. They text that phone number. They located the defendant who was parked near the store. They arrested him. Drugs and sex toys were reportedly found inside the vehicle. Now, this plea agreement means that Hensler will serve prison time as he is a habitual offender. He will be a lifetime registrant on the sex offender registry as well. And Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald released this statement saying the teenage victim was spending an afternoon shopping when her personal space and sense of safety were violated by Thomas Hensler's criminal harassment. This outcome holds Hensler accountable and protects the victim from the stress testifying in court.
I think that it's disgusting that someone would leave a note on a car like that, for sure.
I'm just glad she's safe and that she made the right decision, because things could have went very bad.
Not going to make any, comments on, his appearance, but, when we see people like that, we do have to watch, make sure they don't do anything that they're not supposed to be doing.
Hensler will be sentenced in court on November 5th. In Auburn Hills, Camille Amiri on The Edge.
They just been burning up stuff for no reason.
Several vacant homes up in flames in a Detroit neighborhood, and the person who allegedly set the fires has not been caught. This happened on July 23rd on Highland Street near Woodrow Wilson. Fire investigators say a man was seen on video in this area just before the fire started. A $5,000 reward is now being offered for information leading to an arrest.
Sentencing day for a man convicted of running a red light and hitting a teenager, leaving her in a coma. A judge sentencing Mahdi Bitar to 3 years probation with 1 year in the Wayne County Jail. He gets credit for 26 days of time already served. Last December, Bitar hit a 15-year-old girl as she crossed Ford Road heading to Fortson High School. She's now 16 and suffering from a traumatic brain injury because of it. Investigators say Bitar was speeding and had illegally tinted windows.
The families of 2 victims in the Oxford school shooting have reached a settlement with the district.
The families of Madison Baldwin and Justin Schilling getting $500,000 apiece. Madison and Justin were among 4 students killed in that 2021 shooting inside Oxford High School. Families of the other 2 victims, Tate Meir and Hannah St. Juliana, did not accept the settlement offer. Federal lawsuits against the district had previously been dismissed, citing governmental immunity.
An outbreak of the West Nile virus across Michigan has now turned deadly. Health officials say a West Michigan man has died after being infected by the virus, which is spread by mosquitoes. The virus has also been confirmed in humans in Macomb, Oakland, Livingston, and Sanilac counties. West Nile is the leading cause of mosquito-borne disease. Most people who are infected do not show symptoms. Only about 1 in 150 develop severe illness, which can sometimes result in death. Experts recommend limiting outdoor activity at dusk and dawn and removing standing water around your home.
Well, a man is formally charged, accused in a deadly shooting and assault in Taylor. 68-year-old Walter Ray Sini is accused of shooting his 60-year-old brother and his 67-year-old sister. Prosecutors say Sini allegedly had assaulted his girlfriend Monday at a house near Wick and Party. When his siblings intervened, Sini allegedly shot both, killing his brother. His sister ended up surviving. Sini has pleaded not guilty. He's being held without bond. Well, the Trump administration reviewing all 55 million U.S. visa holders.
They're looking to see if they've committed any crimes. This follows the State Department revoking visas for thousands of students. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards is live tonight in Ann Arbor with a reaction. Hey, Lauren.
Jessica Roop, we arrived out here at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor today around 5 o'clock. And since then, we have been talking to dozens and dozens of students, many of them international, and those international students saying they do not feel comfortable going on camera talking about this situation. But let's get into the details, because we did reach out to the State Department and they responded via email. And they say that this is all about public safety and national security and protecting the borders, that they've revoked over 6,000 student visas this year, primarily for overstays, criminal activity, violating the law, or supporting terrorist organizations. Again, many students here at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, not wanting to talk about it at all, saying they feel fearful. And attorney Russell Aberton, he's based in Southfield. He knows this all too well. He's been helping a few students who've had their visas revoked, and says they're getting yanked for a range of reasons, from traffic violations to fishing without a license. And the first thing that he does with his clients is talk about worst case scenarios
and what they can do to plan for the worst, for being detained, being moved to around from jail to jail to jail, and being sent to faraway locations, and how they can plan for that. Having someone have a power of attorney to dispose of their property or take care of their kids.
I know personally, I have a research assistant from Bangladesh, and she was here all summer long and actually really lonely because there weren't too many people on campus, but she chose to do that instead of risking her studies.
So the woman you just heard from there, she's actually a professor at Connecticut College over on the East Coast. She was just here in Ann Arbor just for a few days supporting a friend, but she says that in our conversation, she told us that on her campus, they're dealing with the same fears. Many students just incredibly fearful about their academic futures. Reporting live here in Ann Arbor, Lauren Edwards on The Edge.
And Lauren, you expressed that it was difficult to talk to folks on camera, especially those students. What was their reasoning? Were they just fearful to maybe put a target on themselves, putting their identity out there?
absolutely, it's about putting identity out there. They just don't want to do anything that's going to highlight them in any way or put them in any sort of trouble. So they just prefer to just stay off camera and just stay away from it at all.
Thanks so much, Lauren.